Hi, my name is Tedo.
Hi, I'm Haley Tinder.
Hi, my name is Kushal Badala.
Hi, I'm Edwin, and this is Facet. Online portfolios are one of the strongest ways to showcase experience and personality, the kind of nuance a one-page resume just can't capture. But outside of the fields like photography and design, they're rare, especially in STEM, because building one means either hand coding a site or wrestling with a generic site builder that wasn't designed for professional portfolios. Resumes have the same problem. Templates exist, but populating them is tedious, and tailoring the content to a specific role is even harder. Facet solves both. It lets you build a polished, shareable online portfolio in minutes, complete with a digital business card and an AI-assisted resume that rewrites and optimizes your content for the roles you're actually targeting. One link, one portfolio, professionally presented. Let's talk a little bit about the technology in Facet. Facet is a three-service application deployed on Railway. The front end is a React 19 app built with Vite and Tailwind. The back end is a Node.js Express API with a PostgreSQL database, JWT auth, and bcrypt password hashing. A separate AI microservice handles resume parsing using PDF.js, Mammoth, and Tesseract OCR, and calls the OpenAI API for suggestions. We test with Jest, vTest, and Playwright end to end. Let's talk a little bit about the technology in Facet. Facet is a full stack web application built as three independently deployed services on Railway. The front end is a React 19 single page app built with Vite and styled with Tailwind CSS using React Router for client-side navigation and Framer Motion for animations. Resume PDFs are rendered in browser with PDF.js and exported via HTML to PDF. The backend is a Node.js and Express REST API backed by a PostgreSQL database. Authentication uses short-lived JWT access tokens with database-backed single-use refresh token rotation and bcrypt hashed passwords. The API is hardened with rate limiting, CORS, and multi-base file upload validation. AI features run in a separate node microservice that calls the OpenAI API. Uploaded resumes are parsed with PDF parse and Mammoth for docx, with Tesseract.js providing OCR fallback for image-based PDFs. So the AI has clean, structured text to work with before it generates suggestions. All OpenAI calls flow through this microservice. The API key never lives in the browser bundle. The whole system is covered by a layer test suite, Jest and Supertest on the back end, vTest and React testing library on the front end, and Playwright for end-to-end browser test.
For our demo, we will be walking through Facet to show you all its features. We will be creating a profile using the name John Smith and catering portfolios that we create towards computer science-oriented careers. Here's what our web app looks like when you go to it. The first thing that we will do is create an account. To do this, we need to provide our full name, email, and password. In this case, this account is being created for John Smith, and the email we are using is johnsmith@gmail.com. As you can see, passwords are checked to ensure that they meet the password rule criteria, which includes at least 8 characters, numbers, special characters, and additional attributes. This helps to ensure that users are choosing strong passwords when creating an account with Facet. A public username is also generated. If your username is available, it'll turn green like this. However, if it's taken, it'll offer multiple suggestions. Now let's create our account. Now that we have created an account, we can start by creating our first portfolio. To do this, we will click on the Create Portfolio button. From here, we can choose a template. Let's go with the classic one for a professional look. Let's name this portfolio something relevant. like Software Engineering 2026. John's goal is to land a role in something computer science related, so software engineering roles seem like a good start. Let's start on this portfolio from scratch. So we'll say that John doesn't have a resume. The other two options allow you to either upload your current resume or paste its contents into a text box. Great, now we've created a new portfolio based on the template that we selected earlier. As you can see, this one includes a digital business card and a resume. Let's update John's resume. Nothing is populated right now since we haven't provided input. First, we will add a title and a location. We'll now fill out the boxes based on what we have in John's resume. John's resume is looking good, but the professional summary could be more eye-catching and optimized for what he's looking for. Let's get the AI suggestion. For AI suggestions, you can choose from concise, balanced, and detailed responses. In this case, for a professional summary, we want to do something balanced. This suggestion looks good, so we will use what AI has given us. You can use the Add buttons at the end of each section to add more information, or click on the Subtract buttons to the right of each element to remove it entirely from the resume. Items in the resume are also movable, so you can drag and drop them to change their order.
From the main viewing page, you can also publish your portfolio. Let's publish John's portfolio now. Publishing means that no more edits can be made and that the portfolio is viewable by anyone with the link. As you can see here is what John's portfolio looks like to anyone who has access to the link. This is great for placing on his LinkedIn or to share with potential recruiters as he professionally showcases his experience and skills. Only one portfolio can be published at a time, and to publish a different portfolio, the current one must be unpublished. Let's take a look at John's dashboard. Both the dashboard button and the facet logo will take you to your dashboard once you have at least one portfolio. It displays information about each portfolio, such as its name, the date and time it was created and last updated, and a couple actions you can take too. You can manage publish, unpublish, duplicate, and delete. Let's duplicate this portfolio. Facet won't let you have two portfolios that have the same name, so we will rename this one to be different. Now that we have created a duplicate, let's say that John wants to publish this one instead. As you can see, since Software Engineering 2026 portfolio is currently published, this action isn't possible for the copy we just made. To fix this, we will first unpublish our previous portfolio and publish our newest one. Now, John's copy of Software Engineering 2026 portfolio is published. Since John has two identical portfolios, let's delete the first one we have made. To ensure portfolios haven't been accidentally deleted, Facet requires that the portfolio name is typed to confirm the deletion.
Let's say John wants to apply for a data analyst position. He needs a separate portfolio tailored to that field. From the dashboard, I'll click on New, create another portfolio. Facet now takes us to choose a template page. I'll select the template to use, the name, this portfolio, Data Analyst 2026. Now Facet starts a onboarding process. It'll ask what kind of role John wants to explore. I'll enter Data Analyst. This time, instead of starting from scratch, we'll just build from one of John's existing resumes. So I would click Yes, I have one. If John gets tired or wanted to finish this later, he could press the Escape button during the onboarding, and Facet will give him an option to save his progress as a draft, so he can return to it from the dashboard another time, even after logging out as well. Facet gives us the option to upload or paste resume text. I'll upload John's resume file. Facet then extracts information from the resume and uses it to create a new portfolio. Once it finishes, it redirects us to a new portfolio page. Now we can review the generated portfolio. We can click through the Home and the Resume tabs to make sure that the uploaded resume was added correctly. From here, John can still make edits before publishing.
On this resume, John can also add a photo of himself. To do this, click the camera icon next to the photo. Select a PNG or JPEG to add to the resume. In this case, we'll resize John's photo a little bit. You can also export John's portfolio as a PDF. In this case, it'll be the resume that gets exported. This is just another way that John can share his resume that he's created with recruiters and other people in his field.
Now let's go back to Dashboard and confirm the new portfolio was added. Here we can see Data Analyst 2026 on the dashboard. I'll log out now. Even after logging back out, the published portfolio is still available through this public link. When John wants to come back to make edits or publish a different resume, he just logs back in and goes to the dashboard. Thank you for watching our demo on Facet.